So I'm pretty much spending lockdown telling people stories about my life. I'm an educator. I'm a sharer of stories, and without it I'm a bit lost. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell some stories. Today I want to talk about sex. Sex when you're young is for so many different things. You have sex to have control over people, to show you love people, for fun, for pleasure, for all sorts of things. And you spend so much of that time trying so hard not to get pregnant. Then you get to an age where you think, maybe I want kids, I don't know. For years, I really didn't. I wasn't sure if I was ever someone who would make a good enough mother. But I got married and thought, okay, let's bring someone into the world and love them. Now, I knew I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, so I knew it would be hard. When I first got ill, with various things, which I won't bore you with, there's a lot, hypothyroidism, you name it, I put on a lot of weight in a very short period of time. About 25 kilos in about 6 weeks. It was like a balloon. Anyway, one of the things with PCOS is that it makes conceiving difficult. Went to the doctor, who said, okay, you need to lose weight. The PCOS leads to weight gain, but you have to lose weight because with the weight, you're never going to conceive. So I went on this horrific diet of meal replacements, no real food for months. And I was thin. And I felt good, and I thought, okay, all this sacrifice, we're going to get there. Nothing. I had a procedure whereby they inject dye into your fallopian tubes and then they x-ray it. I don't remember. A lot of these things are a bit hazy because they were really unpleasant. It's one of the most horrifically painful things I have ever been through. I screamed and begged for them to stop. For them to tell me afterwards, well, one side, not good. Other side, maybe, keep trying. Yeah, when you're trying to have a baby, sex is no longer fun. It's pretty shit. They keep saying, wait. Time is ticking. When you're a woman, time doesn't wait for you. So they decide we're going to do a laparoscopy. So it's keyhole surgery where they go in to see what's going on. I think I had the surgery the day of Obama's inauguration, because I had to spend the day at my parents' house in bed, completely out of it. And I remember watching the inauguration and it just feeling extremely surreal. And the findings were that I had appendicitis when I was 10. And it ruptured just as they were operating. The doctor said, oh, it's gastroenteritis, it's period pain. I didn't even have periods. So they caught it really late. And that meant that there's scarring on that whole side. So my womb is like this. And everything has adhesed. There's adhesion. Everything sticks together. So the ovaries, it's all this big. So yay! Yay! They say keep trying. We keep trying. Yeah. Eventually they say, okay, we're going to do IVF now. And I'm in the incredibly fortunate position of being in a country where we have the NHS, and believe you me, I value the NHS more than I think anything in this country. What a freaking roller coaster. So the first, here's a bit of a clue. So the first round, you're all quite gung-ho. You go in, you have your tests, etc., and you're like, yeah, we're going to do this. I remember being in my first ultrasound. You're in this chair and you're tilted back and you look up and there's, where's Wally? So you can think about something else, where somebody shoves a wand up your vagina and pokes everything really, really, really hard. And thinking, okay, well, this is all going to be worth it. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Then there's taking blood. And I have the smallest, weeniest little veins. So they have to use a butterfly needle. So they take blood, tests, then there's tablets to take, then there's injections to take home. You have a little sharps bucket, and you have to learn how to inject yourself. As someone who's not very good with needles and blood, that was not a fun one. Then it's egg retrieval time. Your partner goes off and has a wank. Yay! It's really bizarre. The sink has a little groove in it. You have to wash everything. The sink has a little groove in it where you kind of have to flop yourself in to wash everything. So you go in the egg retrieval, you have gas and air, and they go inside vaginally with a needle, and they take an egg out, and then it's fertilized. You, in the meantime, have a pain relief pessary shoved up your pessary? Suppository. You have a suppository shoved up your arse for pain. And then afterwards you have an estrogen. No, this is later. Then you have between 3 and 5 days where they've done the fertilization and you just sit around at home and wait, praying that your eggs are going to actually do something. So the first time, I think we had 5 which fertilized. One then died after a few days, and they implanted 2. And then you spend 2 weeks doing the 2-week wait. Do you lie in bed with your legs crossed and rest and do nothing? Do you maintain normal life? Do you go out and exercise? Do you... What do you do? I can tell you what you do, and that's worry and think a lot. Then you do your pregnancy test. Or in my case, you have a period and you bleed. And you still have to take a pregnancy test. So you do it all again. All the injections, all the tablets, the ultrasounds, the wand up your fanny, the pessaries, the suppositories, the being poked and prodded and being told things very clinically. Second time, no eggs, nothing. Nothing at all. So they implant the 2 pre-existing frozen ones. The first time we named them, they were the bundles. And I remember talking to the bundles and saying, I hope you stick. Second time, there was no naming. I couldn't do it. And by day 9 of the 2-week wait, bleed. Then months later, I think. I feel funny. I can smell everything. My breasts hurt. Everything. And I think, okay, I need to take a pregnancy test because this is weird. I don't take one. I take 6. They are all positive. I'm freaking terrified. I think, oh my God, what the actual... My mum used to work as a cashier at Waitrose. And I went to her till even though I'm not supposed to. And I put, I think it was a packet of oranges, you know, a net of oranges, and the pregnancy test on the belt. And she cried, and I cried, and the woman in front of me cried, and it was beautiful. And here I go. What is it with the waterworks and me? They did an ultrasound. Yes, you're pregnant. You know, you get your little pack with what to do and all the rest of it. And then one day I went to the loo and I looked down and I thought, that shouldn't be there. And I saw what I had miscarried. And it was on a Saturday morning, and I phoned the hospital. And they said, well, you know, you can come in for an ultrasound on Monday. And we'll see. I said, I cannot wait that long. So we went in to the Daphne ward, which is the early pregnancy ward. So I sat in a room with a lot of pregnant women and their children, whilst blood slowly seeped out of me. We then went into the ultrasound room, where I was very clinically told, take your bottoms off, lie down there. You know, I know ultrasounds pretty well by now. And the nurse says, okay, well, you see this bit here? This is where the fetus was implanted. But as you can see, it's no longer there, so you're no longer pregnant. Would you now wipe the gel off your vagina and get dressed? And I remember saying, I need to speak to some sort of a manager now. I said, you can't speak to someone like that. You can't have them sitting there with babies and pregnant women and children around you and say, yeah, that's where it was, but it's gone now. Oh, well, off you go. So we go on to attempt 3. And it's the last one. And tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. You're getting older, you're getting older, you're getting older. This one I remember more clearly than any of them. It was a really, really rough one. So I'm doing my injections, and by this stage my stomach is covered in the marks from the injections. The bruising's pretty bad. And my body doesn't want the injections anymore. It almost fights it. I remember one of the injections, so they're in your stomach, and I was lying on a sofa whilst I did it. I let my partner do it once, and I just couldn't let someone else do it, not knowing when that needle was going to go in. You click it, it goes, it depends, you know. Couldn't do it. Anyway, so I inject, and my body spasms, and I folded in half, and I literally saw this precious hormone fluid, whatever the frick it was, I've forgotten because I just it's too much to remember, came spurting back out of the hole the needle had made. And I'm there going, fuck, what have I done? You know, you can't like shove it back in, can you? And I spoke to the clinic and they said, look, it should be fine, blah, blah, blah. More ultrasounds, more wands going inside your hoo-ha, more gel, more blood taken, more bruising. Your partner wanks. You laugh about the sink, maybe not quite as much as the first time. Your sympathy might have dwindled just a little bit. So the day of the egg retrieval arrives. I've got a really nice pair of pyjamas because I thought, you know what, I need something. Really nice pair of pyjamas. We go in, they insert the suppository, they give me the painkilling injections. There's one which is in your ass cheeks, and oh my god, it hurt. And I went into by myself the theatre room, and I'm thinking, this is my last go, this is my last chance. And everyone knows me by now. Hi Nikki, how you doing? Back again? Yeah, I'm back again. Yeah, great, lovely. So I've got my gas and air, and I like to see what they're doing on the screen. Ultrasound again. And what happened was, as the needle was coming out, it nicked something, and I bled and bled and bled. And they're going, down, suck the gas and air, suck the gas and air, bleeding. Just so they take cotton wool and they shove it inside my vagina, and they pack it in. And I'm on the gas and air, and they're going, you know, how many champagne bottles worth have you taken? And I'm like, three. Packing the cotton wool in and off my face, and I said, you know what? That people pay a lot of money for this. And they're like, okay, right, yeah, great, lovely. So then they have to cauterize, and I'm lying on my back with my legs in stirrups in a pool of my own blood with bits of cotton wool which have been up my fanny lying around me, whilst they essentially cook my vagina inside. I'm smelling my own intimate areas cooking. There were a lot fewer eggs that time, but we got 2. We came back and they implanted, and I drove home and I went back to bed and put my feet up and put in the pessaries, which are just revolting. I had to buy pants specially for it. I used to call them my mop pants. And every twinge, you know, you think, is it? Isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Should I go for a walk? Should I not go for a walk? One of the things that the medication does is it constipates you. I'm not sparing you anything here. I'm giving you the full, raw shitstorm, literally. So we're in the car and I go, I'm going to shit myself because the medication that constipates you is worn off. And I'm like, you have to stop the car. I cannot make it home. I will shit my own pants, which I'd rather not do. So we stop by the side of the road and there's a ditch. and the only place I have to go is on the ditch, so I'm on a slope, and I wasn't sure if I was going to crap myself or fall down the side of the ditch and then crap myself, or crap in the ditch and then, I don't know, be ruptured in half by the size of the crap coming at me. I don't know. Anyway, the momentous crap. We get to day 9. Same old story. Bleeding. And we went back one more time knowing that we would have to pay ourselves this time. We'd had 3 rounds on the NHS. I mean, amazing, amazing, amazing. And they tested my thyroid. I'd lost, with each round of IVF, the hormones made me gain weight. So each time I had to lose weight again. So each time it was maybe another 10 kilos again I had to lose. So all in all, I lost 20, 30, 40, 50 kilos off and on. And they said, okay, well, your thyroid is a real issue now. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do the shakes again. Not the shakes. The weight replacement shakes. Couldn't do it. And I haven't been back. And I'm too old now. And I don't know that I could take that whole process again. It's an amazing thing that it exists. But my God, it was brutal. Brutal. I've got the scars of the laparoscopy. I've got the needle marks. And the internal bruising. And the questions of, was it my fault? Something I've done? I'm a teacher and I had such beautiful, beautiful students who said, 2 girls who'd lost their mums, and they said, you know what? You can be my school mummy. I remember being told by somebody in my family that at least one of the daughters-in-law wasn't broken. And you know what? That broke me just a little bit. Just a little bit, that broke me. I am no less capable of love because I'm not a mum. I am no less a woman because I'm not a mum. I'm no less worthy of being loved because I'm not a mum. But I am a bit bruised. Don't get me wrong. I am grateful for every person in my life. I am so grateful for the friends I have. But there's always a part of me that will think, what if? What if? And I will never be able to get the image of that little bundle of cells that I saw had disattached from my body and which I had to flush down the toilet. And I kept those 6 pregnancy tests for a very long time. But you know, I think now's the time to let go. Thank you. I think I needed to say that to someone. If you are going through IVF, my heart goes out to you. If it works for you, I am over the moon for you. If it doesn't, you are not alone. It's not your fault. You are still worthy of being loved. Tough journey. Be kind to each other, people. We never know what we're going through.